guys. I'm going to do a bit of a chat about what it's like 3 months after someone's passed away, which usually doesn't happen. Like, normally things just move on and we don't really talk about grief after a particular period of time. The reality is that in the 3 month period, I think that's when the real grief comes up. That's the case for me anyway. I think we get into a survival mode at the beginning, and we've got to do the funeral, and we've got to look after the people around us, and we've got to make sure that, you know, we get on with life. And then as life does get back to normal, what ends up happening is we face it. We face the truth. So for me, I find myself missing my mum a lot more now than I did when she first passed away. I think because there was so much support around me at the beginning, and now I'm on my own. And so by being on my own, there's moments of silence. And in that silence is when I notice my emotions, which I guess is normal, but you don't really know it's going to happen until you go through it. I really did think that I was in a good place at the beginning. And I really thought, okay, this is good. I've dealt with my grief and I can move on with it. And I'll, you know, worship my mum through a legacy, and I'll miss her, but I'll be able to cope. But the reality is that I'm missing her now more than I ever have missed her. Again, it's those moments where I would normally turn to her. So I'm finding in the morning, I wake up and I automatically have this instinctual feeling to call her or to catch up with her. But in that second, I realize that she's not here anymore. So that is a very heavy feeling that I go through. And then the other time would be, I think, at night. That comes up again at night time when it's the quietness, the silence. And the third place I've noticed is when I'm watching something or reading something, or even with a client, they're talking about grief themselves. It just brings it up. I'm able to hold back on processing the emotion until it's an appropriate time. But I find that those are triggers for me. It's when someone else is talking about losing their mother. So it's interesting. The other thing I think that comes with grief is a form of transformation, if you allow that to happen. I really thought that I'd been through so much this last 5 years that I thought, okay, I keep growing, I keep learning, and I keep expanding, and this is it. But then my mum passes away, and here I am 3 months later, and I'm still learning and growing and expanding. So it's not over, which makes me think that you never stop, which I guess I knew anyway, but I just didn't put it into context for myself. You never stop growing and learning and realizing and seeing the differences that you could be in life in particular moments of your life. You know, it still does feel surreal for me that every time I see a photo of my mum, it feels surreal that she's gone. I don't really have any other words to explain it. And I know it's only been 3 months, and I know that people around me have said, oh, that never goes away, but it does feel surreal. It feels like she's going to walk in the door any minute. I guess on a personal note, I've got some, medical sort of conditions that are sort of popping their head up again. I've got to have, my regular tests. I've got to make sure that everything is okay. And I noticed that there was something that wasn't right, and I just wanted to check it. And I know it's probably nothing, but my mind automatically goes to this fearful place now, because I now realize, because of mum, that something can come out of nowhere, and then, in a very short period of time, you could be dead. So it's made me really more conscious about my health, where I think in the past I was a little bit, it's not going to happen to me, or I'm young or whatever. But now I'm in my 50s, I've got to think, I've got to be a bit more realistic about what I do and how I treat my body and all that stuff. So that's been an interesting thing in regards to myself and how the passing of my mum made me see myself different. So that's it, 3 months in, and this is what I'm feeling. I'll do another one probably in another 3 months, because I think these check-ins might be helpful, because I know they're helpful for me just to be talking about it. I'm on my way to work. Yes, my phone is on a stable holder, so please don't think I'm driving badly. And, it makes me feel better when I say it out loud, and I know that you guys may be listening and supporting me. So until next time, guys, love each other and love yourself. Bye.